Avalanche breakdown. Another breakdown mechanism having different requirements than Zener breakdown. Zener breakdown was favorable when the semiconductor was highly doped. However, in avalanche breakdown, low doped PN junction is favorable. The mechanism which was responsible for sudden increase in the current in the Zener breakdown is tunneling mechanism, whereas in avalanche breakdown, impact ionization takes place. And for impact ionization, it is favorable for the depletion width to be broad. Avalanche breakdown usually takes place at voltages which are much higher than the breakdown voltages for Zener breakdown. For a normal diode, avalanche breakdown is predominant breakdown mechanism, as for Zener breakdown, you have to particularly dope the junction with high concentration. Now suppose that we have a depletion layer like this. Assume the total number of electrons entering through the depletion layer is N in. The circle are representing atoms. It does not matter whether the atoms are of semiconductor or the dopant atoms. Now we are going to focus on only one electron. Now as you know, for avalanche breakdown to occur, the electric field or the battery voltage needs to be very high. This very high voltage provides enough kinetic energy to electrons such that they can knock out an electron from an atom present in the depletion layer, which results in the generation of electron-hole pair, and this collision of electron with an atom resulting in the generation of electron-hole pair is called impact ionization. However, it is not necessary that whenever an electron comes near to an atom, it will knock out electron, as it ultimately depends upon the energy of the electron as well as the orientation in which the electron is striking the atom. So, let us define another parameter P, which is probability of initial electron knocking out another electron. Obviously, the electron and hole will move in opposite direction. The electron may collide again, producing another electron-hole pair. But this time, as we are considering probability with respect to the initial electron or the electron which originally injected into the depletion layer, that's why we will have the probability for the second collision to be p square. Similarly, the probability for the third collision and knocking out an electron will be p cube. And this procedure will keep on happening infinitely. And this will result in a huge number of electrons emerging out of the depletion layer, which is much greater than the number of electrons which originally entered the depletion layer from the left side. One important parameter in avalanche breakdown is multiplication factor, which is defined by the ratio of number of electrons emerging out of the depletion layer divided by number of electrons which entered the depletion layer. If we talk in simple mathematics, then it is very easy to find the multiplication factor, which will come out to be equal to 1 upon 1 minus p. However, it becomes quite complicated to define probability p in terms of semiconductor parameters. However, p can be replaced by applied voltage divided by breakdown voltage raised to the power n. The value of n varies from 2 to 6 and is dependent upon the semiconductor material as well as temperature. We have formula for breakdown voltage, which is 1 by 2 multiplied by permittivity of the semiconductor material into square of critical electric field divided by magnitude of charge of an electron multiplied by doping concentration, whichever is less on either side of the junction. If the acceptor concentration is less than the doping concentration, then Ns will be equal to acceptor concentration, and if the doping concentration is less than acceptor concentration, then Ns will be equal to doping concentration.